The Great Pyramids of Giza are shrouded in mystery. Their astronomical alignments have fueled speculation that the Egyptians got help from aliens. But what do the pyramids themselves say about how they were built? Join us as we explore the shocking theories on how the pyramids were built and separate fact from fiction. Welcome to my channel. Did ancient Egyptians use aliens? The pyramids' most shocking theories? The idea of ancient aliens visiting Earth has captivated the public imagination. In recent decades, numerous authors have proposed that extraterrestrials made significant contributions to human history. But critics argue that these claims lack substantial evidence. And when it comes to understanding the pyramids, human ingenuity is strongly supported by archaeological research. Despite this, many people still believe that the pyramids could not have been built without the assistance of aliens. So why do so many people believe this? Well, some say that the precision with which the pyramids were built is simply too great to have been achieved by human hands alone. After all, each pyramid is aligned with one of the cardinal points of the compass, and the largest of them, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, has a base that is almost perfectly square. Moreover, the stones used in the construction of the pyramids are incredibly heavy, with some weighing several tons. It would take an enormous amount of effort and manpower to move and lift these stones to such great heights, and this is before considering the complex internal chambers and passages that were also constructed within the pyramids. So, if humans were responsible for building the pyramids, then where did they get this advanced knowledge from? Some say that the answer lies in the stars. According to this theory, the ancient Egyptians studied the stars and used their knowledge of astronomy to align the pyramids with great accuracy. Others go even further, claiming that the pyramids themselves were designed by aliens who visited Earth thousands of years ago. They say that these extraterrestrial visitors had advanced technology that allowed them to cut and move stones with ease, as well as knowledge of mathematics and engineering that far surpassed that of any human civilization at the time. But wait a minute. Before you start packing your bags for an intergalactic vacation, let's look at the facts. There is no direct evidence that aliens were involved in the construction of the pyramids. No artifacts, no tools, no texts or records have ever been found that point to the involvement of extraterrestrial beings. However, what we can do is examine the pyramids themselves and the surrounding area to see if there are any clues that can shed light on how these incredible structures were built. And what we find is nothing short of amazing. In fact, the more we learn about the pyramids, the less likely it seems that aliens had anything to do with their construction. Here are just a few of the things that the pyramids themselves tell us about how they were built. The pyramids are not the only structures from that period in Egypt. There were other buildings and monuments constructed around the same time. If you compare the pyramids with other structures of the same era, you'll notice some similarities in design and construction techniques. This suggests that the skills used to build the pyramids were not unique to them, but rather part of a broader tradition of ancient Egyptian architecture. Furthermore, the discovery of ancient Egyptian building projects in various stages of completion has provided valuable insights into their construction methods. For example, the unfinished pyramid of Seduoff offers a glimpse into the early stages of pyramid building. By studying these structures, archaeologists have gained a deeper understanding of the techniques and technologies used by the ancient Egyptians. The pyramids were not built in a vacuum. They were constructed in a society with its own culture, customs, and traditions. To fully understand how the pyramids were built, it's important to consider the context in which they were created. Ancient Egypt was a highly organized and sophisticated civilization with a strong central government and a well-developed system of administration. This is evident in the vast network of roads, bridges, and other infrastructure that connected the major cities and allowed for the efficient movement of goods and people. Moreover, ancient Egypt had a rich cultural heritage and a deep religious tradition. The pharaohs were seen as divine rulers, and the construction of the pyramids was part of a broader effort to glorify the pharaoh and ensure their place in the afterlife. Contrary to popular belief, the ancient Egyptians did not build the pyramids all by themselves. they had a lot of help. What do the pyramids tell us about who helped build them? What do the pyramids tell us about the workforce that built them? The available evidence indicates that the pyramids were built by a large and well-organized workforce. Ancient Egyptian society had a strong emphasis on order and organization. This is reflected in the meticulous planning and construction of the pyramids, as well as other aspects of ancient Egyptian life. The workforce that built the pyramids was likely made up of skilled laborers, artisans, and engineers who were employed by the state. These workers were not slaves or prisoners of war, as some have suggested, but rather free citizens who were paid for their work. The pyramids are full of surprises. What can we learn about the workforce that built them? What can we learn about their lives, their health, and their well-being? What do the pyramids tell us about the workers who built them? Contrary to popular belief, the workers who built the pyramids were not slaves or prisoners of war, but rather skilled laborers who were paid for their work. This is evidenced by the discovery of worker villages near the pyramid sites, which contained housing, workshops, and other amenities. These workers were not isolated from society, but rather lived in close-knit communities with their families. They had access to health care and other benefits, and their children were able to attend school. The pyramids are not just impressive feats of engineering, but also reflections of the ingenuity and sophistication of ancient Egyptian civilization. Their construction required a workforce that was capable of planning, organizing, and executing a massive project with great precision. The pyramids stand as a testament to the capabilities of ancient cultures and the importance of understanding and appreciating their achievements. What do the pyramids tell us about the ramp used in their construction? The pyramids of ancient Egypt are some of the most impressive structures ever built, and their construction has long been the subject of speculation and debate. One of the most enduring questions is how the Egyptians were able to move and lift the massive stones to such great heights without the use of modern technology. One of the prevailing theories is that the Egyptians used ramps to move the stones up the pyramid, but exactly how they used ramps is still a matter of debate. According to the most popular theory, the Egyptians built a series of ramps around the pyramid and then used them to move stones to the top. But this raises a number of questions. For example, how did they build the ramps without having a way to move the stones to the top? How did they keep the ramps stable as the pyramid grew taller? How did they dismantle the ramps once they were no longer needed? Recent studies have shed new light on these questions. Through careful examination of the pyramid, researchers have discovered evidence that suggests that the Egyptians used a combination of ramps and levers to move the stones. They also found evidence that the Egyptians built zigzag ramps that allowed them to continue building the pyramid without having to dismantle the ramps. This suggests that the Egyptians were highly skilled engineers who were able to use simple tools in innovative ways to accomplish complex tasks. What do the pyramids tell us about the workforce that built them? Were they well treated, or did they suffer horrible fates? Did they receive adequate food and medical care? You won't believe what we found out. But before we reveal these shocking findings, please take a moment to subscribe. It really helps us reach more history lovers like you. Now let's continue. It's no secret that building pyramids is hard, back-breaking work. But what kind of conditions did the workers face? What do the pyramids tell us about their daily lives? The pyramids are silent witnesses to the lives of the workers who built them. By studying the archaeological evidence, we can gain insight into the conditions under which these workers lived and worked. And what we find is both fascinating and surprising. For starters, the pyramids tell us that the workers were not the starving, downtrodden people often depicted in popular culture. In fact, the archaeological record suggests that the workers were well-nourished and received adequate food rations. This is evidenced by the discovery of animal bones and other food remains at the workers' settlements, as well as the analysis of human remains, which shows that the workers were generally in good health. Additionally, the pyramids tell us that the workers were not subjected to brutal punishments or torture, as some have claimed. While there is evidence of occasional accidents and injuries, there is no evidence of systematic mistreatment. In fact, The discovery of healed bones and skeletons suggests that the workers had access to medical care and that injuries were treated promptly and effectively. It might seem surprising, but the pyramids actually tell us quite a bit about the workforce that built them. We learn that they were not slaves, but rather skilled laborers who were paid for their work. They lived in close-knit communities with their families and had access to basic amenities and services. They were well-nourished and received adequate food rations, and they were not subjected to brutal punishments or torture. Instead, they were treated fairly well, given the time period in which they lived. The pyramids are truly remarkable structures, and their construction is a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the ancient Egyptians. By examining the evidence left behind, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the skill and craftsmanship that went into their creation. As we continue to explore and uncover the secrets of the pyramids, we can be inspired by the legacy of the ancient Egyptians and their enduring contributions to human history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more informative content. And don't forget to like and share. Let us know what you think in the comments below and stay tuned for more exciting discoveries.